We're hanging out at Saskatoon's Canadian Red Cross branch. Right now, I'm joined by Sandra. Now, I am so looking forward to talking to Sandra because she's been volunteering with the Red Cross pretty much all your life. So that's great to hear. Tell me why volunteer with the Red Cross?
I think we all grew up knowing that the Red Cross was sort of there for us. They're the go-to people after a personal disaster like a fire or an incident of that type, as we know in Saskatchewan, the flooding, things like that. So it's really important for us to remember that the Red Cross is part of our lives and has been for over 100 years, and we all recognize the symbol no matter what country you're in.
Let's talk a little bit about personal disaster relief. Now, this is a new term for me, so for people out there, explain what that is.
So when someone is involved in something like a house fire in their community, most of the fire departments in our province are aware that they should call the Red Cross and have them come in, because the Red Cross will look after those folks for the first 72 hours. If they lose all their clothing, all their food, they have nowhere to sleep, that kind of thing, we're there for them to make sure they're looked after, they're warm, they're safe. No one expects it to happen to me. It's not going to be me. It's always someone else. So when it happens, you're sort of in the state of, what now? I have no idea what to do next. So I can remember a couple of instances. So one, for instance, where I attended, the fire department was still on the scene, and I walked in and I said I was with the Red Cross and what could I do to help, and I handed this lady a Red Cross blanket, which is part of what we do when we first arrive on the scene. And she immediately burst into tears saying, oh my gosh, something that's mine, because she didn't have it. Everything was gone. So this was a really important moment for her.
Wow, that sounds so inspiring and such a humbling job. Amazing. So let's talk quickly how important this is specifically for the winter season, because, you know, Christmas time, lights, Christmas lights, animals, you know, knocking everything off those trees. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So I would suggest that probably in winter, in Saskatchewan particularly, we've got some pretty extreme temperatures, and so it's important that our fire department people and our general public know that one of the first places they are to call is the Red Cross if they need assistance. There's one number to call, you call the number, and that number connects you with the nearest personal disaster person to look after you. So
Perfect. So give the Red Cross a call. They are one of the first responders for a situation like this.
Absolutely.
And of course, the Red Cross is known for their global efforts as well, but there's so much happening here locally, and that's what this show is all about today, to really get to know what the Red Cross is doing here in Saskatoon. So we're actually going to talk to someone from the Red Cross later in the show all about their upcoming events and projects. Thanks so much, Sandra.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.